Small amount of run out on these LS heads. That one's a good 6. This one is a good 5. 4.5 to 5. This one's fairly acceptable, but it sort of bounces back and forth. But just under 2 thou. A little bit better. 2.8, 5. That one was 6, 4.5, 4.3, 5, 1.8, and 4.5. Let's see if we can improve that. All right, so I'm balancing the machine up. The cutter is on there, all set up. I've measured how far it comes down. I've set that up here, so we're mirroring where this seat is gonna be. This is no longer at the right angle because I'm basically balancing this head. So up there, you can see I've got the thing. I've readjusted all of the weights. So I've taken 2 nuts off. I've wound them, so they were out here. I've wound them right in, and you can now see, maybe you can see, maybe you can't see, but that is basically, or was a second ago, slap bang in the right place. So basically that sits fairly in the middle, as you can see, but I am now sticking this one on top. But basically it's roughly in the center. Now I just need to set the distance. I'm going to touch off on probably some part of each cylinder just to see if the head is actually sitting flat to the machine. Cylinder 1. About 3 thou, if you can see that. You can. You're probably going to lose the last one though. All right, so looking at that, this head is actually on a 5 thou piss. Now, it could be the bow that's in this head. I mean, that is a legit thing that's in this, so it could be any of these surfaces. So it certainly is interesting. So I could put a 5 thou shim under this side and pick it up. What do you do? Interested to see if I can put 2 5 thou shims underneath this, pick this up, and then whether that would make it perfectly flat. I'm gonna try that. Right, so I've got 2, I haven't got 5s, I've only got 4s, but that's gonna get us close enough. So I'm gonna release this head, and it should, because there's quite a lot of spring in this, I guess because there's a bit of movement. Yeah, there we go. I think there's enough movement in this whole thing. We should be able to get all of these. Right. We've got those 2 4 thou shims under there. Let's just nip that down. I'm just going to shoot straight across the other side. That's 1.5, so it is going to be about right. Okay. Shims in. You didn't see that, but I put the 5 in, 2 5s, and we're ready to rock and roll. Right, let's move this out of the way. Just going to get it roughly. Yeah, and she went for a run there. we'll see. Just take this back out. Just hit that again. We should be fairly. In fact, I am going to do the middle one first. We'll just see. Oh yeah, no, she slides in there nice now. Shall we? Right, so I'm going to just redo that, make sure it's not touching the seat, because it is going to. I'm going to cut the bottom of the seat early on. And when I say the bottom of the seat, I actually mean the throat. Give that a second, just set you up. Right, so I know it's going to touch this outer part of the chamber, so we're just going to have to see how bad that gets. It's also the way the cutter's shaped, it's going to do the throat first. It's going to do way down in the throat before it gets to the top, just because of the angles that are on it. So we'll see what happens. Right, let's just make sure that feels nice. Ooh, bit of anti-seize, but I feel much safer with a little bit of anti-seize on there. See what happens. See where we touch first. Obviously I expected to cut a little uneven. See where that's starting to pick up. Way down at the bottom of the seat. Way down at the bottom of the seat. Holy majoli. Oh, maybe it does. Right. Have a quick look in there. So you can't see, but it's only cutting the inside. Oh, you can see. It's just cutting just the inside. Try not to cut my finger off. I feel like that was miles away. It just didn't look it. See where we are. Okay. Okay. Let's go and get the hoover and we'll come back 2 seconds. Okay, we just had a little hoover off, but let me just show you where we are. Oh, this is 5x zoom, so it's a bit, oh, those nice defined lines. Let's get in there and have a look. So we haven't done the entire seat yet. We've definitely done down there. Let me see if I can get the light on, hold on. Right, hopefully the light's on. So yeah, we've cut the seat, we've cut the port side, and then we've got our 3 angles almost entirely all the way around. So this one had 6-hour run out, so it was quite a bit. I don't think we've got all the seat up here, no we haven't. Wow, look at that. So we haven't really touched. Have we got a seat? I don't think we've got a full seat up here, but the rest of it looks good. And nicely as well, we haven't touched too much up there. So I'm pretty pleased so far, just assuming that when this does cut a full seat, that we have indeed yeah, I mean you can see it's not touched that section back there. So I think it's put the seat in and the top angle. I just think it hasn't done the rest of them yet. So we'll continue and we'll see what happens. We've only got some of this top angle here, but all 3 angles are in, or should I say, all the angles are there that we care about. So yeah, she's cutting a lot this side and very little this side, but the real test is one, stick a valve in there, put a bit of marker on, we'll do that, and then I'm going to just get the concentricity tester, and oh, I can do it, yeah, it's a steel guide, so I can do it with the standard taper instead of using that. Look, the seat looks lovely. Whether it is or not, we still have got a little bit of corrosion on this back section here. Right, so hopefully this will show up. I've got this inlet valve. It's going to be really difficult to show you, but basically this has got about 5/10 run out in it. It's a bit shaky and it's also not focusing, so, but it's got about 5/10 after putting it in the machine. So I've written it on it. So what we'll do is I've just blacked the lip as well. If it will show you, yeah, I've just blacked the lip. Mark this seat as well. See where we're actually touching. Make sure that we are on the same plane as well. It's just the light. I'm gonna just drop that in. I'm just gonna give this a little, oh, because of the paint, it's not the best. Oh. Spicy. Let's see. Oh, okay. I'm gonna just check that with the light, but a little bit of margin. The seat definitely could come in, and that's cock, but I'm not hating it. But we just need to. Oh. Yeah, so we'll see. Seems like it's missing that section there, but that could be the way it's cut. It could be many things. And again, this is actually lapping compound, not grinding paste. It is 1200, so not your 450s or any of that crap. And this will show up. It won't grind a seat as such. It'll actually show up any chatter as well. Just want to see where that seat's going to sit. So the pen is the better option actually, if you just want to quickly see where a seat is. Problem is it's thick and binds up underneath the seat. Alright. Let's hope that that has got rid of the whole seat. You can see that seat anyway. Looks lovely, sure. Okay, yeah, so that was the 1.3mm seat. We still haven't cleared up everything on the valve. Let me see if I can get a better shot of this. That's going to be a super close shot. So not every part of that valve has come up. Again, this isn't grinding paste, this is lapping paste. So, and it's 1200. But we're getting there. Obviously, I'm trying to spin it by hand instead of doing it properly. So I'm getting a bit better. Still got a little bit of shit there. The rest of the seat looks lovely. It doesn't look like there's any chatter showed up in that whatsoever. Yeah, so back of the seat. I mean, that looks like a really nice seat. So we have got a full concentric seat on there. A little bit of crap. Focus still there. So that's going to have to come out. And I don't know what the valve stem height is currently, but we can worry about that after. And has it chewed out anything? I think it chewed out, yeah, it definitely chewed out a bit. If I can focus on the seat. Can it focus on the seat? What about if I, wow. Yeah, I mean, it definitely skimmed out this inner section of the port there slightly, or the seat. Most of the way around, that bottom angle came in like down below, so you can see it there. Yeah, that's quite clear. But yeah, we're gonna have to keep going till we get that one out. I will measure the stem heights, but that's not really a major concern at the minute because I've got to clean that seat up, and if I can't clean that seat up with the correct stem height or inner tolerance that I want, I've got to replace the seats anyway. So I might as well cut it right out, see what happens. I'll probably do all of the seat, all of the inlets. I'll obviously do this one to its lowest point until I can get rid of that mark on that seat, and then that'll be my 0 point. And then I'll come across, do all these, and hopefully clean all these up. If not, then I'll have to come back to this one if these ones sit a bit lower. But now we've got the head perfectly flat, we should really be consistently in the same place. I will, Can I get a smaller? Yeah, I'm going to try the seat height gauge and we'll see how that works. All right, so I've got this tool set up. I'm going to show you the numbers first and then I'll show you how I've set it up. So this is the tool. It's basically just got a pointer that sits on the center of the seat, and I'll show you that. But obviously where the head's sitting, you can, I don't know, maybe you can see the scribe line. There's a small scribe line down here, just where that, the ball of the thing is. But basically you pop it in. This is the 8mm pilot that I was cutting with. And this is 4 thou higher at the same seating point. Now that's the little bit, the little caveat with this, because I've obviously cut the seat. The seat could be in a slightly different position on the valve. The way I've cut this one, I've got a fair margin. So you've got the valve margin itself. It's not going to show you, but you've got the valve margin along the edge down there, which is the flat part. And then you've also got a slight margin coming into the seat. Now this is, if you ignore, this is probably less than 0.5 millimeter of valve margin on the edge. Now we could bring that down a little bit. Obviously that's to everyone's discretion, but assuming they're in the same place, this seat is 4 thou higher up than the other one. And I'll just show you that. And then I'll show you it's sitting in the right place. So again, there is a little bit of carbon on this head, but so obviously as you're doing this, it's touching the seat. So potentially you're causing some damage there, but that's basically, I mean, it's pretty much on the number there. Yeah, you can kind of see. Let me just show you around. So zoom out, you see that that's pretty much on the dot. So this seat is 4 thou further down. Just get in there and you can see the seat there. Will it let me zoom in enough? Yeah, so you can actually see the little scratch mark just on the inside where that is sitting on that seat. So we are, it might be 6/10. Right, so I've just gone through and worked some stuff out. So the valve is 7.96 mil or 0.3135, give or take a tenth or two. This is set up to be a valve stem. So give or take a tenth, she's at 0. I might have a tenth there, but I'm not going to worry about that. And obviously this is in tenths. So we're at, what is that? 1, oh no, sorry, it is 1.5. So we're 1, 5, 6, 7. 7, 7.5. So yeah, that's where we're at, and we're pretty consistent until, is this going to go out of shot? Let me just see if I can rock that round. Right, until right at the top where we start to go, okay, now we're, what's that, 1, 2, 2.5 thou. Yeah, so the question is, do I go any further, knowing that the tops of, well, these two guides are particularly bad, these are average, and obviously we've still got taper on the whole guide. Is there any point going any further with these heads as they are? I might as well put new guides in it, then cut new seats. Because, yeah, as I say, if I put in new guides in it, the guide could move left, forward, back, right, or there'd be some deviation to that guide, even though it's in the same hole. And at that point, the seat's going to move. Okay, I think I'm going to touch on all of these seats and see if I can just improve their concentricity. That's going to be a good test. Because I may end up replacing all these seats anyway, and then there'll be fresh heads ready to rock and roll. So yeah, I think I'm going to do the other 3, see if I can bring them down. I know I can check them with the pilot that I've got, which is 8.01 millimeters. So that is what I think I'm going to do actually, because I might just check the valve stem height on this one. yeah, let's do that. I'm going to check the valve stem height on this one if I can from underneath. It looks like there's a decent amount of clearance. And then I'll know whether I'm ballpark or not. Alright, so I've zeroed this gauge. I use the extenders. This is exactly 50mm. Mic's up lovely, within 0.1 or 0.01 of a mil. So that's going to put this, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. Oh yeah, you can slightly. So that puts us 1 mil over, so that was at 1. So there would be 50mm. So there's 51mm and there's 51.1. So 51.14. 51.14. So we'll work that out. And I think that is, and that's cock under. Let's have a look. Right, so the 51.14 ends up at 2.0133 and 8/10. So we have 2 thou to go before we're on the maximum. Well, that's the spec that I've ripped offline. Don't really do LS stuff, so just a quick Google. But yeah, we're right on the limit. So do we go up to the limit? I mean, it's less than 2 thou, isn't it? So, I mean, that's a lot in a valve seat anyway. And the valve isn't, it's still got, it's not knife edged. I mean, they're pretty knife edged anyway, aren't they? Yeah, we'll see, because we've got, all these valves are shagged anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Let's see if I can get you a, yeah, I mean, there is some margin there. I'd imagine that's probably not far off what they come with, not like the exhaust, which have obviously got a, see if I can get you, quite a large margin. So yeah, I think at this point, I mean, we need to cut the seat anyway. I think I might do the others and leave this one, get these close, just to get some practice in, seeing what it's doing and how it's doing it. I came back in on this one. I just touched down on the seat, re-zeroed my clock up the top. Then we'll 1, 2, let that zero. We'll see when I zoom in. Let's just turn it off. Right, we should be good to go now. There we go. Should be about to touch on. If you try and go too fast, it definitely does not like it. So that's a thou. There's another thou. Another thou. Another thou. Another thou. You get the point. Right, that's 10 thou to go. And we're, well, I don't know. Oh yeah, you can see pretty well. We're nowhere near the seat yet. So that's the 10 thou to go. Let's hope. And here we go. I'll put a little bit more lube on there because this is going to start to get us a fairly decent cut now. You can hear that chatter. And I wonder how much of that, oh, she's got a pretty good seat. It's not quite down to spec yet. Wow, that does look beautiful. as I say, I think when it comes to me doing it, you're not going to be able to see much now because I'm going to have a look. But when it comes to me doing it, I'm going to make a fixture up to hold the vacuum cleaner on here so it just sucks all this crap away. And I'll use a cutting. Oh no, we've still got a bit to go. We haven't got that third angle on the back yet, so the closer one to the port. And this is like a 5-angle cutter. So it's a decent unit. I'll just find out the specs. All right, so I'll just basically put it in there. This is a full 5-angle with the top radius. So it's a decent cutter. And yeah, I mean, we got 1.3mm seat on it, and I'll just show you that backside. Yeah, so it's got everywhere, but it's just missing this slight backside. It's actually looks worse in the camera. I think that's the reflection. Oh no, maybe not. It's not that bad. See if I can. Yeah, so we've still got to keep going a little bit, but it's not the seat angle as I see it. It's the. Oh no, we are missing pretty much all the angles. Yeah, no, cool. All right, I'm going to get back in there and cut this last piece, and hopefully everything's gone to plan. Let's have a look. There we go, straight up to speed this time. Right, I'm going to come down fairly fast and coming into it now. That's 15th thou away. That's now 10th thou away. Maybe we'll get a little bit of that in there. Right, there we are, touch on. That's it. That is bang on the same height as the other one. So I'll just have a quick look myself, make sure that that seat is on there. Oh yeah, she's beautiful. Oh gosh, that is lovely. That is so nice to see a decent seat. Oh, beautiful. Right, let me get you in there. I have to get the camera up. All the angles are there now. We haven't, oh have we? Oh yeah, no, we've got them complete, yeah, every angle's there. It's a little thin on the top side here, the very top angle, but that's fine. That's no problem at all. And obviously the radius hasn't cut in, it's only if it needs to. But yeah, you've got the full seat width, full cutter width at the back there. It's only on this front edge. But we're a little light, so that top angle, and then the 45 just below at 1.3. But yeah, she looks beautiful. Real nice seat. Looks lovely. We'll see. We'll do a run out test and see what happens. This seat is beautiful, so as long as this comes out the same as the other one. Oh, focus, you fuck. Wow, look at that, if you can. She's a beautiful seat, really is. And like I say, it's a little thin on this side at the top angle. You can see that's much thinner, it's just thinning out. That's absolutely no problem. That is really quite a nice seat, and it's got a bit of a smudge mark on it. But I'll be interested to lap one and actually see, yeah, the quality there. But I'm going to do the run out test. There's no denying how tight that is. Oh, she's gone in there lovely. And that's out the other side, which is nice. And I'll just do valve height as well. In fact, I'll also do the comparison between the two. But let's just check run out and see if we're going to shit ourselves again, or whether we're happy pappies. Every time I shit myself with this fucking thing. Okay. Okay. .4 thou. I guess we don't need to even tighten that up, do you? I mean, I don't know if you can see it. I mean, you can see it close enough. But if that is the case, and we are hitting that, that looks like we're, I mean, I haven't changed this gauge, so if I'm careful with that, let's just put it back on and make sure we're going to get repeatability there, because that looks like it's going to read within a thou, or, I mean, this is within a fucking tenth. Is this inches? Oh yes, it is thou. That is excellent, if that's the case. The run out is within a spec, but it's not exceptional. This is consistently height-wise, I think we're absolutely on the money, but I might be wrong. No, we are. Yeah, I mean, you can see it well enough. We are within 5/10 of seat height using that mic up the top of the so using this mic up here, we are now within 5/10 discrepancy between the two. Be interesting to put this pilot back in here and recheck the seat again. I'm going to do that once more, then I'm going to throw a valve in, and then we'll do valve stem height, because if we're the same height here, hopefully we're the same height underneath. I mean, there could be some discrepancy in the height of the deck surface to the base of the spring seat, but well, yeah, just another little caveat to enjoy. Obviously, once I know this thing is working the way I want it to, I won't do this to find out if it's a good seal. I mean, I haven't vacuum checked these either, but I know that's going to work. That is going to come up lovely on the vacuum, especially as a shit valve comes up lovely on the vacuum. Oh, yeah. So you can see I've got a decent bit of margin on there, and the actual, maybe you can't see. Yeah, I mean there's margin, and then there's additional margin running down. I'm pretty happy with that seat position. Right, let me turn the air on. Is that going to go over that port? Is it bollocks? Oh, I can go that way and that would be a little bit better. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely leaking somewhere around here. The more I push that, the better it gets. Valve-wise, I can't move it. It's just two vacuums. And that's a fairly nice. Hopefully you can see all of that shit. Kind of. Right. Yeah, you can see it's pulled the shape in the port, in the thing. So it obviously is working. It's just got some shit on it. This foam. But like I say, that seems to pull nice vacuum. Seems to. There we go. Yeah, I mean it's holding vacuum for long enough is what I'm going to call that. I think the vacuum test is fine. Slightly better test is to see, like, if you can can feel it. So when you come down, you hold the valve across and you see if it's even slide from left to right, which is, this one is not. I can feel that catching. Front to back, it's perfect. See that? Yeah, no, it's not the same. Then I wonder where it was the low point. Oh, low point's over there. Oh, that's interesting. Looked like it was held up there. That looks like a better seat to me. Certainly feels like a better seat. But you can feel it sort of, the valve comes down with the play in the guide and it will go ba-dunk, ba-dunk, ba-dunk. So it touches the seat and then rolls into place. And it's that clearance. And I assume I would feel like this one, I can't feel it doing it this side so much. Where I can feel it do it. But then that would be tapering the guide anyway, potentially. But feels fine. I mean, it's covered in grease now, so that doesn't help. Taking up any. Oh no, that feels right. I think I'm going to cut these other two seats. I'm really happy with. Oh no, there you go. I think it was just the grease. Yeah, it feels like there's a lot more in this one to seat it home. Let me see if I can show you that. You might be able to see it. Oh yeah, maybe not. Yeah, maybe. Oh, you might be able to see it, like, so I can. Let me zoom you right in here, because I think you will be able to see that. I have to do it astride. So you see that is sliding in from the left hand side. Same this side. Same front and rear. Same front. So it feels very neutral. Feels very neutral, like it's moving in the same front to rear. Let me just check the other one quick. I don't know if you could, I'm pretty sure you could see it a little bit. Just, this one's going to be a little bit harder. Yeah, see, it feels perfect. A bit of shit on the underside of the valve there. I'm not saying it's the be all and end all of tests, but vacuum test, as far as I'm concerned, means almost fucking diddly squat when you can vacuum a valve that's got like, what did that have? 7.5 tenths of run out, and that was with a solid pilot. So we know that that's, if it's tight with a solid pilot, we know that's following the overall direction of the valve. I can't check that. I think I'm going to cut these other two and then cool it, because we're at the limit of our height. I probably need to do guides. Right, so I've just done this other seat. Unfortunately, just get the card. It's gone in. This was already lower, and then to cut the nice seat, we've gone down to, oh sorry, it's there, 20.20, so 5 thou over what is recommended from whatever I found online. So we're just going to check the seat as well. I've pulled a vacuum on it. Vacuum's lovely, and we've still got that 1 point. Let's just move that. Sorry. Yeah, so like 1.8. This was not a nice seat to cut. There was quite a bit of chatter on this seat. Whether this particular one had run slightly hotter and then work hardened, I don't know, just waffling, but see where she is. Yeah, so we are on this gauge, which is inches, we are another 5, 6, 7 thou down. So yeah, I mean from 134, so that's yeah, I mean, that's work, that literally measures perfect. So we're 7th hour further seated in the head. So, I mean, at this point, probably put new seats in them. Because we might be keeping these as a set of spares for our nitrous. When I say nitrous, it's 100 shot. For our John's drift car. So let's see if I can get this out. No, I'll get this out and then I'm going to cut the other seat and then we'll go from there. So I'm back in here working on this LS head. Now I've cut all the inlet seats and I've got anywhere from 3 or 4 tenths, I think, up to 1.5 thou, I think, of run out. Come to do the exhausts. I wanted to do the exhaust mainly because of how hard the seats were in those Nissan heads. So I wanted to check. Now they are definitely harder. And for whatever reason, even with little bits of chatter here and there and what have you, these seats are a lot better. So this run out, I mean, let's just take a moment. All right, yeah, so let's just take a moment here and realize that this is indeed potentially, there's 3. I mean, yeah, it's like 2 or 3 tenths. The pilot is so tight in there that it's a bit crazy. And the heights as well, this was previous, I've just touched them on again because I had a bit of chatter on this one, which was actually showing up on the gauge, which was interesting. But yeah, the heights are coming out pretty much within a couple of thou, or if not a thou. So that was 41.59, 41.6, 41.55, I think it was. They should all roughly be the same now. All the tools are kind of working as good as I think they're ever gonna. So I'm gonna get this one out. Oh, let me show you the seats. Well, see if I can zoom in, there we go. And you can see possibly on that lower section, just down there, there is a little bit of chatter. Chatter, like cheddar cheese, but chatter. But there's none on the actual seat face. It just seems to be on the underside of that. This is starting to come in with a radius across the bottom. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Yeah, you can just see it in the corner there. Doesn't seem to be on the seat face though, which is weird. You'd think the whole thing would, sorry, that's inlet. Yeah, you might be able to just, yeah, you can probably just see it. But it doesn't seem to be on the seat face, but, so this is like a top angle and then a radius at the very top. So this will need to be smoothed in because that's put a sharp edge there. So yeah, you've got a top angle, which is a radius, sorry, top angle, a radius at the very top, and then a 45, and then it's a radius below. I think it's like a 10.8 mil radius, I can't remember. But obviously where the seat isn't fat enough, it doesn't come quite round. So potentially I would need a slightly different cutter to get a really nice seat on this. Yes, overall I'm getting better results for sure. Still far superior to obviously anything else I'm having done. But you know, I've got this down from 5 tenths of, oh my gosh, 5 thou of run out to, you know, 3 tenths. Do you know? Yeah, this was 4.5, this is 5, and these are all well under 1 thou now. The big ones, I might recheck them in a bit, but yeah, they've all been around 1 thou. I mean, you've got 8 tenths there. Appreciate it's a big valve, it's a 2-inch valve, so obviously the smaller you go, the tighter, the less the run out basically. The bigger you go, obviously the more tolerance you've got as well. So they say 1 thou per inch is pretty, you know, good as such. And being 2-inch, we're way under that, but it's trying to improve this. And again, I don't know how work hardened these seats are. It might be a case if we put new seats in here, they cut like butter. Because I am having to change, like the final cut I just did then was about 550 RPM to touch on, but most of the cutting was done about 2 240 RPM, maybe even slower, just to get it down there to start with, and then I speed it up and just sort of peck at it until we're about, you know, maybe 2 thou away, and then you can, that last bit you can just come in and touch on. They do a mod for the later models that can, I don't know if what they call it, but it's like an oscillation, so it will basically rev up and down to keep a variation in speed, so it never sits at one speed. Now potentially I could, oh wow, you know, because it does take a while to spin up. In fact, can I show you that? So if we do get this running, so you might be able to get in here and play around with it yourself, but I don't know if that's good for the machine or not, but it's a possibility just to get that final cut, although then I will be one-handing the wheel, so I don't know how sensible that is. But so far, this pilot, because it's so tight, and the guides aren't new, so that's an additional thing as well. So like, for instance, this, is it this one? Yeah, so that's really tight in there. This one's actually loose, so this basically, this pilot, which is 8.001, full straight through this one, stiff with this one, stiff with this one. So the guides aren't 100% either, so potentially this is all going to improve when you've got brand new guides, nice easy cut seats, you know, not work hardened in any way. Again, I don't know what these are. I mean, they've cut lovely. Wow. It's just, you know, just trying to get the best out of it. Obviously that is still the way it was, so there's that still needs to go deeper on that seat. But this again worked a treat. I just did the exhaust side. Wow, you are really struggling to live life right now, aren't you, phone? That worked a treat. The other tool, which is this tool, again works an absolute treat. So it's just being able to double check, and the fact that this is indeed workable against this, because certain cylinder heads, when they sit on this low piece, so this is the old style head holder, if you will. If you have to put a head down the bottom, as in the Nissan heads, then you can't use any of this stuff to check stem heights. In fact, this whole rollover fixture is very difficult to check stem heights, so I can't check the stem height of this one or this one because it's too far over. But I could squeeze her out a little bit more, but the further away you've got these supports, you know, if I start bringing it out to it's on this surface here, there's less area, or less that way move. You know, you've got a leverage advantage the wider the head is, so having it out is okay. And this tool correlates. So this tool correlates really well with this tool, i.e. they're within like 1 thou of each other when you put that on the seat or that on the stem. So at that point, I'm pretty happy. Yeah, so we'll see how we go with the rest of this head. I might check the other head. It's more just playing at this point and trying to figure out where I'm at, what speeds to run, how consistent I can get each cut. Height consistency is basically absolutely spot on. I put these shims in there to level this head out, and that's worked an absolute treat. Like, it's more than close enough than you'd ever need to be. That we can come in with this tool and make sure they're all the same height. This is obviously bloody amazing to get the heights. So yeah, and then it's speeds and feeds really. It's trying to figure out why my phone won't focus properly. Yeah, the RPMs and things related to that.